Do you know what Trudeau said the other day? We're getting a new commissioner, guys. Guess who's picking it? Trudy. This was my worst fear. Who knows? Maybe the next one will be great, right? I'm going to show you a video of Trudeau. Oh, my God. March 3rd, guys. I don't know. He's talking to people. He's at a daycare again. Hanging out at the daycares. You just realized this. Oh, God. Oh, my God. Oh, this is so dumb. He's our winner, eh? He's our winner. Yeah. Oh, God. So they ask him a question. This is Morris Rosenberg or something like that. He hires this they hire him, okay? And this, I want you to hear how he answers this. Listen to the reporter's question. I guess this Rosenberg is tied closely to Trudeau's family. Listen.
Démocratie est bien protégée et continue de fonctionner avec intégrité.
Merci. Question? Yeah, just to follow up regarding Morris Rosenberg, why pick someone so closely tied to your family, your family's foundation? Would it not inspire more confidence outside of liberal circles to pick someone else?
The choice of the person to...
Why didn't you pick somebody else? He's going to tell you why it was so good that they picked him. These are the reasons. Listen to the reasons.
They wanted someone who had experience working for multiple different governments of different...
Experience working in multiple places.
And a long career in the public service.
A long career, guys. A long career in the public service, okay?
Certainly qualifies for that, but
he certainly qualifies for that, guys. Okay? He's completely qualified. Now let's go over to where somebody asks him about the next RCMP commissioner. And I can't believe I'm talking about this again. Here we go again, right? Here we go.
Hi there, my name is Sav Jones. I'm with APTN National News. A First Nations leader has told APTN News that the next commissioner of the RCMP should be an Indigenous person to address systematic...
The next RCMP commissioner should be Indigenous, okay? I want you to hear it again.
To address systematic racism in the...
Systematic racism? Did he just say, I just caught that. Did he say systematic racism? Is there such a thing?
Systematic racism.
I thought it was systemic. It's so made up. We don't even know what we're saying anymore. What is it? Does anybody care? We all know it doesn't exist.
In the force. What do you think of this?
I think it's an excellent idea. I think
it's an excellent idea, guys. Why? Why would that be an excellent idea? First of all, if an Indigenous person became the RCMP commissioner and he deserved it, perfect. Absolutely perfect. But he's not going to do that. Listen to what he says.
I think it's an excellent idea. I think
it's an excellent idea. It's not good. It's not great. It's excellent. Why? Why are we focused on race? Why are we focused on skin color? This is driving me insane. You got a problem with my skin color. That's what he says to me. You got a problem with all the whites. You picked the best. Idiot.
Seeing more and more Indigenous leadership throughout systems and institutions across the country. We should absolutely look at more diversity. We should
more diversity. Do we not have enough diversity? Why do we have to look for more diversity? I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why this is so incredibly stupid. I'm going to tell you why his comments are racist, discriminatory.
To look at bringing forward Indigenous voices to lead those institutions. But just...
Why do they have to lead those institutions? They're already involved.
putting an Indigenous voice at the top. And we have a whole independent process going forward, and we will see who ends up being the next chief of the RCMP, the next commissioner of the RCMP. That's a process I'm not going to speak to now, but we will always look to try and make sure the full diversity of Canada and Indigenous representation is part of our considerations. But we have to understand that it's not just about putting the right person at the top.
What? He made his cabinet 50% women. He wasn't picking the best. That's not picking the best. He picked Brenda Lucki, RCMP Commissioner, and he came out and said, it's a fact. I want the next commissioner to be a girl. He wasn't picking the best, and guess what he's going to do again? He's not going to pick the best. And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why it's nearly impossible to pick the best if you're going to go by skin color.
Not just about putting the right person at the top of an organization.
You have to understand, guys, okay? You have to. This little kid is teaching you. This is so... Diversity, inclusion. Oh.
That makes the systemic change necessary.
Systemic change.
There's a huge amount of work on structures within our institutions, including the RCMP, to ensure that the entire force, the entire system is fully respectful of Indigenous people.
We got to make sure that everybody, the members, are fully respectful of Indigenous people. Did he say that? Did he really say that? Because we're not, right? Give me an example. He won't. Why wouldn't the reporter say, oh, they're not fully respectable of that community? Can you give me an example? Because he can't. No reporter would ever ask that question. He's saying that members in the RCMP are not fully respectable to the Indigenous community. We bend over backwards for that community. You have no idea the things that we have to be involved in with that community. We bow to them, to that community. What else can we do? See, this is the problem. There's not a problem, but he's created a problem. He came around and he said there's racism in the RCMP, and Brenda Lucki, who he hired, agreed with it and have ruined the RCMP by saying these words. He's got to go. He's got to go now. And it's so sad. It's so sad that I'm going to sit back and watch him pick the next commissioner. Pick a next commissioner who's a liberal, who believes in his values and his thoughts, which are screwed right up. He's totally mental. He's gone. He's gone. He's completely whacked out of his head.
The entire system is fully respectful of Indigenous people, respectful of diversity, inclusive in everything it does.
Respectful of diversity. We have had this shoved down our throats for how long now? And why do we have to be respectful of diversity? Why is that such a big deal? Huh? I don't even know what it means. It sounds so stupid. Doesn't it sound stupid? Like, aren't you tired of hearing this? Diversity? Shut up, man. Go away. I just can't believe he said that we're not fully respectable with that community. It just blows my mind. All the work we've done with those communities.
Inclusive in everything it does and responsive to the real needs on the ground. So,
responsible to the real needs on the ground. What does that mean? He doesn't even know what he's talking about. Responsible to the needs on the ground. What the hell does that mean? We're not responsible to the needs on the ground? How so? Idiot.
So I look forward to doing the important work of finding out figuring out who would be the right leader to be the next commissioner of the RCMP.
Not the best leader, the right leader. Yes. And guess what? Did you notice something here? He didn't mention anything about experience. He was talking about the other guy. Didn't say a word about experience. Didn't say anything about long career in the public service, meaning long career in policing. Doesn't say any of that. Doesn't say anything about being qualified. Just the right person. Unbelievable. It is unbelievable. And I'm going to tell you why this is so unfair. I'm going to show you something. This is who we're going to pick next. Let's take a look at this, guys. Do you want to know how many Indigenous people apply to the RCMP? Indigenous. 4.6% out of all applicants apply to the RCMP. Why? Because they don't want to be a cop. But think about that number. Think about how few that is that are applying. 4.6 in 1 year apply. Do you think that 4.6 is actually getting in? It's probably a bit closer to 0 that are getting in. The majority of members, they're the white man. It's like 65% of applicants, probably way more than that. These stats are screwed. But 65%, they're white. They're the biggest pool. And he's going to toss that pool aside. He's going to be racist towards that pool. He's going to discriminate against the color of their skin. Now, wouldn't common sense tell you that the best commissioner would probably come from the white man? Because there's so many of them. I'm sorry, but there is. Women don't really want to be a police officer, and same with Indigenous peoples. They don't. But you're just going to disregard? You're just going to throw that pool away? That's what he did. That's what he did when he hired Brenda Lucki. He said no. He said no to white males. He said no to everybody, except for women. Now, how is that right? Is that really how you... That's how Canada's run, guys. That's exactly how Canada... We are so weak. This ain't right. How can that be right? And I got nothing against any race. I love all races. 4.6% applied in 2020. When you apply, that doesn't mean you get in. When you apply, the chances are you aren't not going to get in. You're not going to become a cop. It's like saying, it's honest to God, it's like saying, you know what? I think it's an excellent idea that the next commissioner is a dwarf. That's what he's saying. Yeah, it'd be lovely. It'd be lovely if an Indigenous person was the commissioner. If he deserves it. If you enjoyed that short bag of dicks, you can watch the full episode right here.
What's that?